Hello, what's up? I'm Corey.
And I'm Kelly.
Guess we'll start it out that way again. I It's been a good week. I have had a lot of I've become consciously, it's like when I do the whole inventory thing on a daily basis and reflect on the day, I'm able to really be aware of what's going on with me. And this week I was consciously aware, which has never happened really the way that it happened, that I have been depressed for at least a few days, if not a few weeks, if not a few months. I'm not sure, but I became aware that, and I haven't been sad. I haven't been down. Like, my days have been good, and like I feel like I've been growing. I don't feel like it set me back, but I was able to sit and feel this depression that I had, that I've never been able to really experience it the way that I did. And it didn't really bring me to tears. It didn't make me feel bad, or it didn't make me feel like I was less than or anything. I just sat and felt what I was feeling, and was able to understand that, my brain's just, whatever's going on, for whatever reason, I've been feeling some sort of not gloom, but just some sort of heaviness or something, and I'm okay with it. In the past, I would have can't get out of this. Has been a very busy week for me, and I was very productive, and throughout it all, I believe throughout the whole week I was depressed. Like, I haven't listened to much motivational stuff. Haven't even really, I listened to some country music, actually. Maybe that added to it. And for some reason it got stuck on the country station. But I did not experience depression the way that I have experienced it in the past. And I'm so grateful that I didn't. I'm still kind of going through it, but I'm aware of it, and it's not like it's a painful thing this time. And I really believe it has to do with my mental health. Just because I'm mentally healthy doesn't mean that all the things that I've done to myself over the years are just going to go away. So I am just so grateful that I can feel this and be aware of it and act on it. I don't have to do what I've done in the past.
That's so fascinating, because this week I've also, the beginning of the week, I was just feeling so good, and I have for a while. I'll have days here and there, where I wake up and I'm grumpy or whatever. But this past week, it was crazy, because Thursday I woke up and I felt so heavy, like you just said. And then Friday I was feeling the same way, and again Saturday, and then I had some things trigger me, and so for a couple days I too have also been feeling this heaviness in my soul, and I've, like you, it's just so interesting that we've both been experiencing this at the same time, and not even talking. And like you, I've not been listening to a whole lot of stuff, because I just honestly
you
have
haven't
not
been sending me any.
because I haven't really been wanting to. I've been in my head, and that's
where I've been.
I recognize. But this time it has been so different, because in the past I would get sucked into the depression, because that's what it felt like. It feels like a depression, you know. I know what depression feels like, but I didn't feel it the same way because of the fact that I have been feeling so good. And I'm like, what is going on that has caused me to have this depressed feeling within me? And so I've sat with it, because I recognize today that whenever I have those feelings, then there's something within me. There's something going on in me that I'm just not recognizing. I don't know, but my body and my moods are letting me know that there's something there.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because yesterday I had a trigger happen, in which I'm really coming to really love triggers, because I'm like, okay, something's going on there. Like, usually our triggers have nothing to do with what's happening on the surface, like the event that just happened. It's usually,
Opportunity to
something
grow
that is deeper within me that has been triggered.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting because it was a trust issue, and I was able to sit with trust. I was able to journal about my trust issues and all this kind of stuff. And normally, I actually went onto YouTube and I was like, well, let me see what it says about trust, And I pulled up something and I started listening, and I was like, no, that's not helping. And the thought came to me to go to my scriptures and to see what the scriptures say about trust. And as I started reading all of the different scriptures about trust, I was like, that's my problem, is that I have put my trust in man. Like, I'm not supposed to trust you. I can't even trust myself. We've been told in the scriptures time and time again to not trust the arm of flesh, to not trust man, to not trust. And I recognize that I have put so much trust in other people, and what that does is it creates expectations, and they're going to disappoint me, because none of us are truly trustworthy. I mean, we're just not, because we're human beings. And so we've been told to not trust people, and that's really hard to hear, because we feel like I should be able to trust you. I should be able to trust you with my life, but God has told us, don't trust man, only trust me. And so it was just really interesting to be pondering and to be thinking about trust and the way that I have put my trust in people. And it's those little things that's in me, that's heavy in me, not being able to trust someone, or, and I shouldn't. I hate the word shouldn't, but
don't shit on yourself.
Yeah. But just,
that might have been crude, but I'm sorry.
I've just been,
don't should.
I've been really aware of my state of mind, like I haven't in the past. Like, I used to get really sucked into the feeling of it, because I'm a very feely person, and so I would, get depressed, and I would stay in that depression. And I was thinking about something too, whenever we say I am, anything that we say I am, and whatever it follows with, we're taking that as something about ourselves. So I am depressed. Well, yeah, I'm depressed because I'm telling myself constantly that I'm depressed, And so,
yeah, I'm not depressed. I've just been experiencing depression, and
right.
So it's so amazing. What you've just said is exactly what I came to realize 2 or 3 days ago. I have never been able to trust anybody, and I think that has to do with mental illness. I think most people, I speak for myself obviously, but I really believe that anybody that suffers with mental illness, as I spoke before, we are constitutionally incapable of being honest with ourselves. If I can't trust myself, if I cannot be honest with myself, how can I believe that anybody else is honest? Because I know that it's impossible for me to be honest, so nobody's honest. Everybody's lying. And I've experienced people that are really close to me that have lied to me and have let me down or whatever, you know. So therefore, nobody is honest. Everybody's deceptive. Everybody's out to get me. Everybody's a liar. And it's just not true. It is not true. There are so many good, honest people in this world that want the best for us, that want the best for the world. And that was my exact same thought whenever I was actually in bed thinking, I am depressed, I'm feeling depression, what's going on with me? And I said, I have never, ever trusted anybody, even people that have never given me a reason not to trust them, because I could not trust myself, and I was double-minded. I mean, I couldn't trust myself to do anything. And if that's the case, how is it possible for me to trust anybody else out there?
Well, we've been told too not to lean on our own understanding. We're not even really supposed to trust ourselves because we're just not able to. I mean, we're just not
trust
able
in
to.
God.
We're just supposed to trust in God. And I'm still pondering on this and still trying to learn how to go about
it's
doing it.
Putting expectations on man.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I can trust in Dad or, you know.
Oh, man, we've been told not to.
No, I don't
But I hear what
put
you're
my
saying.
trust, I do not put my trust in them. I do not put expectations on them because any man can let me down. I don't put my life on anybody else. I put my life in God's hands. But in life, and you have to be careful. Yeah, you do. But it's important to have that in your relationships, to have trust. And when trust is broken, I mean, that is something that takes a long time to get back, you know.
But see, that's what I'm learning right now, is that's part of our that's part of our problem, is trusting in man. I mean, I've been reading so many scriptures over the past 2 days about trust, and we have been commanded not to trust man, not to put our trust in man. Now, you saying, you know, I can trust my dad, or we want to trust people, but people will always fail us. And I think that is the point that God is trying to teach us, is that we can't put our trust in other people. We can't, because we will always be disappointed.
Okay.
But I can trust you to come pick me up at a certain time.
No, you can't.
Right, exactly.
You can't, because I might die right now.
Right.
You cannot
Right,
trust in man for anything, because their heart could stop the minute they were
Right.
supposed to marry you, the minute they were supposed to do this
Right.
wonderful thing for you. You cannot trust in man
We want
because
to.
we are imperfect and our bodies are imperfect, so we will die, and I could die right now and you'll never do this with me again. I mean, whatever. You cannot trust in man, but we can trust in people, because there are good, honest people out there. That does not mean I rely on them for my saving, and for God is the only person that I can truly rely on in all things, period. I mean, I get that, but you do have to have trust in relationships, and you do have to have some foundation. You build up on it, and you gain relationships by gaining that trust. But that person could die at any moment. Something could change at any moment. Those expectations could be let down. You could lose that trust. I mean, you can't build your foundation on man. You can only build your foundation on God, on His rock. So, I mean, that's number one. That's the most important, is to put my faith in God. I can't put my faith in any man. But I do rely on people to do certain things. I rely on people to pay their bills. People rely on me to pay my bills. I get a credit score depending on the trust that people can put in me because I've shown I'm reliable to pay my bills. I mean, there are factors that lead to relying on other people. Maybe it's a semantics thing that we're going on with here. Trust in God, only in God. He's the only one that will never let us down. But in a relationship, I need to feel security. I need to feel like somebody's going to tell me the truth if I ask them a question about something. Being honest, okay? Let's just deal with honesty. People that suffer with mental illness have a problem with honesty. And, you know, I therefore have never been able to believe that somebody was telling me the truth. Even people that have loved me my entire life, that have never lied to me, I would question what they said. I'd question their motives. I would think to myself, where have you been? Why are you late? What's going on? I wouldn't even ask. I would just immediately assume, yeah, they've been doing that. They've been out there doing that. They've been doing whatever comes to my crazy, mentally ill mind. And I would mourn it. Like we were talking about the other day, I'd go through the whole process of it's already happened. And I mean, I'd experience it like it's already happened, and it's stuff that's never even happened. But in my mind, mentally ill, I just would not believe anything anybody ever told me. And it's really sad. Mental illness is a really sad thing. But as I have become mentally healthy, I come to realize there are so many honest people in this world, and people that want the best for me, you know, and it is, I love it. And I don't have to sit around and be depressed, but I can be aware that I'm feeling a little down. You know, why? I sat and thought about it, and things made sense, and it's all good. It's all good.
I'm learning that things just, they pass. You know, it's not going to last forever. The feelings that I'm feeling, they usually pass in a day or two, you know, and I feel good again.
Unless you do something to make it last longer.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's true. Because I'm good at that too.
Yeah.
But I've, you know, talking about honesty and mental health, I have experienced depression so much of my life because I've held on to stuff within me. You know, I haven't been able to be honest about things that have happened to me, you know, and so that's always been such a thing within me that's just kept me in a just depression throughout my entire life. And over the last couple of years, I've been letting go of so much stuff, and I've been talking about so much stuff, and as I do it's leaving, and
so good.
I have so much more joy in my life. I mean, I've been on medication. I'm not anymore, but I've been on psychiatric medication for years. You know, I was thinking the other day that I went to a doctor for the first time whenever I was like 29 years old, and they immediately put me on Xanax. You know, that was like the first medication that I was put on was Xanax. You know, I was like, I mean, knowing today
Thanks,
what
doctor.
I know. Right. If you know, you really know. And it's just like that began my experience with psychiatric medicine and moods and mood stabilizers and antidepressants, and, you know, and had I understood what I understand today, I really don't think that I really ever really needed medication, because I'm coming to understand that that the depression, that the the heavy, deep feelings are just things within us that we have not dealt with. You know, having a good therapist is really great. Doing this, meeting with Corey every week and just talking and sharing stuff. I've become so open with things on here that I haven't, shared previously with anybody, and it's quite an experience.
Depression is just a part of life. I'm
Yeah,
not
it is.
unique. We're not unique.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody experiences it. It's just, how do you experience it? How do you address it? In the past, I would abuse myself. I'm depressed. But I am not. I'm just not. I don't suffer from depression. I don't suffer from mental illness. I don't suffer from so many things that I've stigmatized myself with and told myself I'm these things. I am a recovering addict. I mean, I'll put that out there. I'm good with that, because that doesn't say I am an addict.
Mm-hmm.
I am in recovery, and it's a beautiful thing. I think recovering addicts are probably some of the happiest people in the world, because we know where we have been and where people can go. And it is, that doesn't mean I'm perfect. It doesn't mean I'm going to be perfect, but I'm progressing and I'm getting better every day. And I am off of that stuff that was just absolutely, it had every part of my life. It destroyed a lot of things that God has rearranged and made absolutely beautiful. God is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
If your life is completely in shambles and just destroyed because of drug addiction, and I'm not going to add or alcohol, drug addiction, that being one of them, if your life is just out of control because of it, there is so much beauty. I mean, there is so much hope, and we don't have to be there. We don't have to be stuck there. You can be mentally healthy, and depression can happen, and life can still be good.
Yeah, I've always, whenever I've gotten really depressed, I would, for whatever reason, I would always go to alcohol. Like, at my deepest.
Let's put a depressant.
I know, and it was so bad. And I think because it was just legal, you can go to the store and get it. And it always, and the reason is because alcohol will deceive you. Because alcohol will lift you.
Mm-hmm.
It'll give you that lift at first, like for the first couple days, but then whenever you're drinking for weeks on end because you're wanting to continue to feel that high, that's when it takes you really deep, because it is a depressant, and it will mess up your body. It'll mess up, it totally throws everything out of whack.
Without a doubt.
It'll ruin your life if you stay in alcoholism and in drug addiction. And what I have learned is that what we're doing whenever we're taking these chemicals into us is we're trying to keep ourselves from feeling. We don't want to feel the pain. We don't want to feel the hurt. We don't want to feel whatever it is that is in our bodies that we need to feel. And over the past couple of years, I've been allowing myself to just feel. Whenever feelings come up, whenever I have hurts come up, I feel it, and I write about it. Like, what is causing me to feel this way? Because it's always stuff that experiences throughout our life, whether it's from childhood or later on, or even last week. Sometimes we're human and we do things, and if we don't have someone to talk to about it, if we're not sharing it with other people, then it gets stuck in us. It gets trapped in us. And then we're trying to cover it. And then we're trying to cover it with substances to not feel it. And the greatest thing that we can do as human beings is to feel.
Feel it.
Yeah. It's awesome. It really is, to be able to have this spectrum of feelings that we're able to feel.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we are feeling in this life that we're never going to be able to feel. We'll understand them, and we will remember them, but this is so temporary, and I'm never going to be able to experience depression and pain and sickness and all these things that go on with this corruptible body. So why not enjoy it? Why sit around and say, oh, I'm so depressed,
Enjoy your
life
depression.
sucks? Yeah, why not? You sit and write about it and say, I today am depressed because, and think about it and figure it out and work through it. It's good. I don't have to, okay, I'm depressed, so I'm going to go hurt myself and wake up tomorrow and be depressed and hurt myself, and a month from now, and then a year goes by and I'm still depressed over something because I stubbed my toe a year ago and couldn't walk right or something. I know it's a stupid example, but it's literally what can drive an addict to do what an addict does. And it's insanity. There's no explanation for it. For a person that's never been an addict, it's like, what in the world are they talking about? But anything can set a person off that struggles with addiction. But if you're healthy and you're doing what you're supposed to do, and you're doing the meetings, and you've got people to talk to, and you're working on yourself, depression is nothing. Who cares? Feel it, enjoy it, sit down and learn from it. I'm talking to myself right now because I am going through this right now, and that's last night I wrote. I had my son with me, and I sat and wrote, and it's a good day. Am I completely, yay, I'm on a happy cloud today? No, I'm not, but I understand what's going on, and I have mental clarity. I have mental stability. I'm just, it's a whole different world to experience recovery and to experience this to learn to trust. I trust people today. Today I believe people, and it's like, it's new to me. A person can tell me something, and you really, I mean, if you're lying to me, that has nothing to do with me. You know, you can lie to me and I'll believe you unless I just straight up know you're lying, and I'm just going to feel bad for you and pray for you. But, you know, if a person's lying to me, it has nothing to do with me. That's out of my control. The only thing I can do is learn how to trust people, because I've had such a hard time with it in my life because of whatever, you know, whatever, whoever did whatever. I mean, it doesn't even matter why. But today I'm able to trust people. I believe in people, and I have been surrounded by so many wonderful, good people that are honest, and I rely and trust and put my trust in God. But I do believe there are really good people that want the best for me, and as long as God doesn't take them right now, I can call them, and I can trust. I can have faith. I don't know the word to
I know,
use.
because in my mind
I don't know the word. I know you are, and
I've
that's
been in
why
my
I'm not doing it.
scriptures so much.
I don't know the word to
and
use.
it's just been telling me, don't trust man. But I get it.
I have no expectations on anybody, but I can plan for things. I can expect somebody to pick me up when they say.
People. We can believe in people.
I can plan around people and hope that you pick me up when you say you're going to, so I can be where I need to be, and that I can hope that people do what they tell me they're going to do. But I put my trust in God, and He is the only person that I put my trust in. I love this world, and I love my brothers and sisters, and I rely on a lot of people to do things, but I do not put expectations on it, because if things don't go the way that I want them to go, then I'm hurt, then I have some excuse to go abuse myself or whatever. I can't put expectations on anybody, because God has a plan for everybody. And if I put expectations on somebody and expect them to be somewhere, and God has a different plan for them, and they need to go be with a widow or a homeless or whatever, well then how can I allow myself to be hurt and let down because God has a different plan for them? So I don't put expectations on people, but I do have to make plans in life, and that's just part of it. But my trust is in my God, and I love him with all my heart.
Me too. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day, and that's a lot to think about, but today I choose to be happy even amongst whatever's going on in my brain. And I love y'all. Happy Sabbath. It's a beautiful day.
All right, y'all. Bye.